My boss used me as a scapegoat for her office affair, so I let HR see what she forgot to delete. I never thought I'd be writing one of these posts, but after everything that happened, I need to know if I was actually wrong here, or if I just did what anyone else would have done in my place. I'm a 29-year-old guy, and until recently, I worked at a mid-sized tech consulting company in Chicago. The kind of place with glass walls, motivational posters, and managers who constantly say, "We're a family," while quietly throwing people under the bus. My direct manager was Karen. That's not a nickname. That was her real name. She was in her early 40s, always perfectly dressed, always confident, and always very careful about appearances. She talked about her husband and kids a lot, especially whenever someone brought up ethics or work-life balance. It was like she wanted everyone to know she was a good person. I had been on her team for almost 3 years. I trained new hires, handled difficult clients, and fixed problems that other people caused. I wasn't flashy, but I was dependable. My performance reviews were solid, and until this story started, I had never been in trouble at work. Things changed when Mark joined our team. Mark was in his mid-30s and transferred from another department. Almost immediately, Karen became very interested in him. She laughed at his jokes a little too hard, scheduled long one-on-one meetings with him, and started traveling with him to conferences even when it wasn't necessary. Everyone noticed, but no one said anything out loud. Office rumors exist for a reason. At first, I didn't care. Office relationships aren't my problem. But then something strange happened. One Monday morning, I was called into a meeting with HR, Karen, and Karen's boss, Linda. No warning. No explanation. Just a calendar invite labeled Quick Sync. Karen looked stressed. Linda looked disappointed. HR looked like they wanted the meeting to end before it started. Karen said they had noticed some irregularities in project communications. Specifically, emails sent to clients without proper approval. Then she slid a printed email across the table. It was sent from my work account. The email approved a timeline change that hadn't been finalized yet. The problem was I hadn't sent it. I said that immediately. Karen frowned and said that the email came from my account, so it had to be me. Linda asked if I shared my login with anyone. I said no because I didn't. HR said they'd look into it and gave me a verbal warning, just to be safe. After the meeting, Karen pulled me aside and told me I needed to be more careful because this kind of mistake could hurt the company. That night, I checked my sent emails. The message wasn't there. Completely gone. I also checked system logs, something I had access to because of my role. That's when I noticed something that made my stomach turn. The email had been sent while I was in a conference room with a client. At the same time, Karen had been logged into the system remotely. I tried to convince myself it was a glitch. I wanted to believe that. Then it happened again. Over the next 2 months, emails I didn't send were blamed on me. Calendar changes I didn't make were attributed to me. Document edits I never touched somehow became my responsibility. Every time, Karen acted disappointed but calm, like a manager who was tired of covering for an employee who kept messing up. Mark always backed her up. He'd say things like, "Jake usually handles that," or maybe he forgot. Slowly, my reputation started to change. I went from reliable to careless, from trusted to questioned. Meanwhile, Karen and Mark were inseparable. They took lunch together every day. They traveled together. They left the office together. Still, no one said anything directly. Then one Friday night, everything collapsed. I stayed late to finish a report. Around 9 p.m., I got a Slack message from Karen's account. It wasn't meant for me. It was meant for Mark. The message said she hated hiding everything, and that once I took the fall for the upcoming Q4 mess, they'd be safe. She literally said HR already saw me as a problem. I stared at the screen, frozen. Then another message came through. She told him she had told her husband she'd be at a client dinner the following week, and asked if they were booking the same hotel again. That was the moment I understood everything. This wasn't just favoritism. This wasn't just incompetence. This was intentional sabotage. And I was being set up to protect their secret. I didn't reply. I didn't confront her. Instead, I started documenting everything. Over the next few weeks, I saved server logs showing Karen accessing my account. I collected email metadata that proved messages were altered. I archived Slack messages between Karen and Mark, including ones sent during work hours that were absolutely not work-related. I saved expense reports where they booked a single hotel room under vague descriptions like cost efficiency. I kept calendar entries labeled Client Sync that clearly lined up with private dinners. I also wrote down every meeting where Karen blamed me for mistakes I didn't make. I didn't go to HR yet. I knew that if I went in emotional or half-prepared, management would protect management. I needed undeniable proof and the right moment. That moment came during an all-hands meeting. Linda announced that a major client had pulled their contract due to internal miscommunication. Then she said my name in front of everyone. Karen stood beside her and nodded like this was already decided. I felt my chest tighten. Everyone was looking at me. Karen said accountability would be handled internally. I raised my hand. I said that before any decisions were made, HR needed to review some evidence. The room went dead silent. Karen's face lost all color. That afternoon, I sent everything to HR and Linda. Every log, every message, every receipt. I didn't filter it. I didn't summarize it. I let the facts speak. Karen and Mark were put on immediate leave. An internal investigation followed. Karen was fired for misconduct, falsifying records, and misuse of company systems. Mark was fired for policy violations and dishonesty. The client was shown proof that I wasn't responsible and ended up renewing their contract. I was offered Karen's position temporarily and later received a promotion and a raise. I also transferred teams because I didn't want to stay where all of this happened. The fallout was messy. Karen's husband showed up at the office one day screaming her name before security escorted him out. I later heard they were divorcing. Some coworkers said I should have gone to HR earlier. Others said I destroyed a family. A few quietly thanked me and told me she had been doing similar things for years. 2 weeks later, Karen emailed me from a personal account. She said I could have talked to her and that I didn't have to ruin her life. I never replied. So Reddit, am I really the villain here? Was I wrong for waiting until I had enough proof? Or was I just the first person who refused to be sacrificed for someone else's secrets? Because I know one thing for sure. If I had stayed quiet, this story would have ended very differently, and I'd be the one looking for a new job, wondering how everything went so wrong.